Welcome back to another Open Source Friday. Today we are streaming a live pre-recorded session, but both myself and my guests will be in the chat monitoring your questions. So please don't be afraid to post any questions you might have. For those of you who are new to Open Source Friday, this is a show where we celebrate the maintainers, contributors, and open source projects that are doing amazing things out in our community. It's my pleasure to introduce to you today Laurent Cozik, a software engineer with a long-standing interest in open source and privacy-focused software. Laurent is the creator of Joplin, a flexible tool for note-taking and organization. He's worked on various projects across many years of experience and enjoys building practical solutions that give users control over their data. Such a timely topic. I feel like I've been having this conversation around privacy for the past 2-3 weeks. So welcome, Laurent. Thank you for being in Open Source Friday.
Thank you. Well, happy to be here.
Can you tell me firsthand, because there is obviously a ton of note-taking applications out there, not a lot that are focused on allowing the users to keep their own privacy. So I'm guessing that was sort of the need that you were trying to meet. But can you tell me what problem were you trying to solve when you set out to build Joplin?
Yeah, sure. So I used to use a different note-taking application, and I was using it quite extensively every day for a lot of notes on data, on documents. And over time, the company implemented various restrictions. It was a bit more difficult to synchronize the data, to put more notes. Certain notes couldn't be downloaded anymore. And that's when I realized that even though this is important data for me, it's not really under my control. It's up to the company to do whatever they want. And if they want to raise their price, I just have to go along with it because I don't have a choice. So that's when I decided, well, why not create my own application? That shouldn't be hard. That's always the first thought. So I've decided to create a mobile application first. And then as I was developing it, I also implemented a desktop application so that I can synchronize the notes and have them on all my devices. And since it is open source, it uses open standards, open formats. So it kind of solves this issue of the data not belonging to you, because you can always export it to something else, you can view it, manipulate it in any way you want. And it also addresses privacy issue, especially using the end-to-end encryption. So anything synchronized data is encrypted with E2EE. Anything on a server cannot be read by the owner of the server. So it can go anywhere on the internet and only you have access to it. So yes, so that's how it started, Joplin.
Amazing. So it's a mobile application, right? But you have also desktop for Joplin,
Yeah.
Correct? So it's mobile desktop. Great. And you also have a plugin ecosystem. Is that right?
Yeah. Yes, so plugins, obviously allow customizing the application in all kind of way. We have about 200 different plugins now.
Wow.
It allows quite often actually when a feature is missing, people ask us about it and we say, okay, well actually there is a plugin for it. So like probably any obvious feature now exists as a plugin if it's not already part of the application. Yeah, so and it's hopefully relatively easy for developer as well to create these plugins. Obviously it's all open source, so you can easily create a quick plugin, see how it works and improve it over time.
Oh, it was awesome. That's a very powerful way to grow an ecosystem. That's fantastic. Okay, well, can we take a look at Joplin? And am I saying it right? Is it Joplin? Yeah. Joplin, right?
Yeah, yes, that's right. Should I share my screen then?
Yes, please. Thank you.
We created this kind of demo notebook. You can set the title. You can also set some kind of icon on emoji if you want. Let's do something else. Yes, and then it's organized as a hierarchy of notebooks. Here, this is a list. I'm going to take this one. So this is a list of notes. It can be displayed quite like in a typical ways, is like that. You can also select what information you want to display. For example, you can display the due date if some notes have a due date. You can also change the style of it, make it simpler, if that's what you prefer, and here more detailed. And finally, you can edit your notes directly in this editor, which is based on Markdown, which is increasingly popular because it is quite convenient to edit notes. It's almost what you see is what you get without the disadvantages of Word-like editors. And then you have the rendering to the right side. We also have a rich text editor, so that this is actually more like Word for those who prefer it, so you can change the text directly. You have the search as well, which is not going to be a good demonstration because there are not so many notes. This is quite powerful. It can handle hundreds of thousands of notes, really. This is very fast. Yeah, it is based on a SQLite full text shirts, which make it very convenient. And it also search inside the images. So OCR is built into the application. So for example, here I'm guessing. So here it found Joplin inside this image. So you recognize the text here, Joplin. And so it found it. It also found the text in this PDF. So all the documents that you add to a note are going to be automatically OCR'd. The text inside is going to be extracted from the image, from the PDF, so that it can be searched. Yeah. So there's various features such as a note list. You can create tables as well, row, for example.
That is very easy. I love that. I hate making Markdown tables. That's cool.
Yes, so do I actually. I often switch back to this editor for tables. And it has obvious things like a bullet point, like heading, images, you can have quotes. So there's links. So all the basic things you would expect from a Markdown editor. Then we have also the possibility of creating handwritten notes. So It's a bit difficult to demonstrate on a desktop, but it makes more sense on a tablet or on a phone because then you can write with your pen or even your finger. So you can create various objects, move them around, zoom on them, and you have plenty of options to customize the pen, like to create arrows as well, circles, square circles. So there's plenty of options like that to yes. This is one of Henry, one of our developer who created this. It is very nice. Yes, and you can create images as well that you can annotate. Yes, various options here.
And so right now you're running it locally on your machine?
Yes.
But you're able to sync across like multiple targets?
Yeah, exactly. So any changes you make here can be synchronized to any number of devices. So another computer, your mobile phone, tablet, anything like that. All these features, such as handwritten notes, OCR, and all that, will be working the same on mobile or any other device.
Amazing.
And here, this is a kind of a demo of speech to text. So this is some text that was spoken on mobile, and it was transcribed automatically and then synchronized to the desktop application. So the particularity of speech to text on mobile is that it is all offline. So even if you don't have an internet connection or you are in a plane or anything like that, you can still use voice typing. And it will work very well. It's using a Whisper, like a relatively recent AI model. So it's incredibly accurate, actually, for something that run locally. We were quite surprised with the result. So that's how it works for speech to text.
It runs the model even if you're offline, and does the transcribing from voice to text automatically?
Yes, exactly.
That was powerful. Wow.
It can be convenient, yeah. Probably Google Voice typing probably would require an internet connection, while this can work anywhere without internet. Or if you're on mobile data, you don't want to use your mobile data, you can just use an offline feature.
That is amazing. That's very, very powerful. And so you have a application for both Android and iOS?
Right, that's correct, yeah. Both Android and iOS. And for desktop, we have for Windows and Linux.
This looks great. What else can you show us? All the plugins. Yeah. To clarify, are the plugins created by you or they're all community contributions?
Yeah, they are community contribution. I create some of them. There are a lot on majority of them are community contributions. So I was thinking here, maybe I can show you directly the website. It looks a bit nicer there. So those are all the plugins that we have. Like I mentioned, about 200 of them. So there's a lot of choice here. So actually, this is the one I developed. So it's a Kanban board, basically, which exists, which it's still Markdown below and underneath, but the UI is going to be like this, like a proper Kanban board. So it has various features. You can obviously create as many columns or cards as you want. And it supports tags, due dates. You can add colors, all functionality. It's not probably as powerful as an actual Kanban application, but it is convenient being kind of integrated to the application. You can link to other notes. You can convert one of these cards to a note to add more detail, to add images, and all that is going to work the same, integrated with the application. And it works as well on both desktop and mobile. So that's one example, which is this popular one. Another one that I like is mass mode. You can define all kind of variables like that and then make calculations based on it. So it is nice to organize a trip. For example, you'd say, like, actually the example is here, how many people, the distance, price per liter, and then you have all that calculated automatically. It's very nice, and it's based on Markdown as well. Another one is Jarvis. This is quite impressive. It's an AI assistant, and it can run all kind of AI system like GPT, Claude, Gemini, like local ones or remote ones. I think it supports OpenAI, probably that's GPT. You can create a summary of notes, for example. So as I mentioned, it works with ChatGPT, but also with local AI, which sometimes people prefer because you don't always want to have all your personal note information and all that to go to Chat. So instead, you can use a local one on everything stay on your computer.
Oh, I love this. I love this. So I can ask questions. I mean, I guess I can use the power of the local, whatever I have, if I have a Llama install, to index through my own notes. So it's able to take my own notes locally. So my data never goes anywhere.
Yeah,
that's very cool.
Exactly. Yeah. So it has all kind of usage. I didn't use it that much. I just read it mostly. So it has you can chat with your notes, ask questions about your content, probably. Do search, annotate the notes. So it has lots of features. It's a very interesting plugin, how it works. That was developed by one of our community member. So it's very nice.
Very cool. Is that a paid thing or is it open source, free to install it? How does that work?
Yes, I think it is open source. That is, AGPL.
AGPL.
Yes, so that's Jarvis. So there's a Note tab plugin as well. That's a kind of small feature that we don't have, but if you want it is there as a plugin. You can add tabs at the top of the notes. It can be customized via the plugin API. So here this developer created all kind of way to customize by adding, for example, the tags below, the time here, to add thumbnails within the notes, within the note list, in different kind of layouts. It's just a way to customize the application in ways you really want, as much as options and all that as possible. And I think that there's many more. Pick some of the most popular, but there's all kind of niche usage that people like. There's mind maps, things to do for conflict resolution as well. I think there's a calendar plugin as well here, Joplin calendar. Way to backup. This one is integrated to the application. Actually, it's just automatically create backups of the notes in case there's any kind of problem. Yeah, and I think that's pretty much it for the plugin, unless you have a question or...
Very cool. So the ones with the crown, are those the ones that are core to the app? Is that what the little crown denotation is?
Yes, so that's what we call recommended. So
okay.
It usually means, so it's either developed by us, by the team, or frequent contributors that we know well, and so we know are reliable and without any kind of security issue, for example, or performance issue. So so they come up here in the recommended. So usually we recommend this because sometimes people understandably have concern about installing plugin. We don't really know where they come from or anything like that. So we try to review some of them. Some are easy, I developed that, so I know it's all good. This is Caleb Jones. He's been using the app and helping us with all kind of things for many years. So we know this is going to be reliable. So yes, there's still quite a few of them. which allows finding like good, reliable plugin relatively easily.
This project is great and it's pretty big. I mean, you have a ton of contributors. How old is the project? When did you launch, Laurent?
About 9 years ago now.
9 years ago. Wow. Okay.
It's been a while now. Yeah.
Wow. Amazing. Okay. And so if I want to install it on desktop, I can download it. Like, I think the binary is on GitHub, right? Just go to the GitHub repo. It's Laurent22/Joplin.
Yeah, yes.
Or the website, yeah?
Exactly, yes. So it is available on both. So here you have all the releases. So it's not often, so as you see, a big selection of executables. It's not always immediate what should be downloaded here. So that's why we have the website. In that case, you click on download the app and it's going to auto-detect your computer and propose the right option or automatically start downloading if there's just one option. So here, I think because it's Mac, it can be a regular one or Apple Silicon, but yes, it's a bit easier. And from here, you can also you have link for the Google Play version, App Store, and more application depending on what you want. For example, we publish the APK file for those who don't want to go to download from Google Play. We have a portable application for those who want to install on a USB key, just use it like that. Yeah, on plenty of alternative distribution as well that we do not support. We don't manage them, but they can be convenient for certain systems, for Linux in particular.
I love that. So you have a big team, Laurent? Like, how many people are actually actively working on the core team, I guess?
I guess it would be like 4 or 5 people working on it. So I guess 2 of them full time, and there are other open source contributors who participate now and then and help with the project.
This is very cool. I'm learning when I see how easy it is to have everything on the one place. The privacy considerations, great. Is there a path to migration for people that might be watching this and are like, yeah, this is what I need?
Well, yeah, actually it is integrated to the application. So
perfect.
Yeah, you have the import option here from all kind of formats. So in X, that would be Evernote. Many applications also export to HTML, Markdown, text, and one big one that we struggle with, OneNote as well. So for people who want to migrate from OneNote, this is now an option as well. There are plenty of options to import notes from other applications. And this thing we have in the help as well, we provide like more detail on how to import from Markdown file, OneNote, Evernote, obviously, because they have a specific format as well. Exporting there's plenty of options as well. Hopefully you won't need it because you will stay with us. You have like JEX is the native format. You have more open format as well, Markdown with font matter with some metadata, HTML and PDF.
This is very cool. Okay, what else can you show us?
Yes, so I guess what I wanted to show next would be synchronization and collaboration. So we have a way to synchronize between multiple devices, as we mentioned earlier. It can be done via a number of services, including like open source one, like Nextcloud or any WebDAV compatible server. Like more commercial one, like Dropbox, OneDrive. Like if you have a OneDrive Office 365 account, you can use that. We also have our own server, which is Joplin Cloud. So Joplin Cloud was developed because it's a bit difficult to implement things like sharing or publishing notes using more generic synchronization targets. So we implemented Joplin Cloud to allow people to share notes. You can share one notebooks, for example, with your friends or colleagues, and they will see all the content of it. They can change notes or add new notes, and you will see them as well. So it allows sharing, also publishing notes. So you can, for example, here you can publish something like that. You have some event, you want to publish it to the internet. That will give you a link that you can share with anybody, and they won't need to have the application. They just can see the link, the URL, on the content in their browser. That was a reason for creating in cloud. Lots of people self-host to have their own data. Again, that's the idea with Nextcloud Web Dev. That was initially the main target.
So can I work completely offline? Like say I install it and I run everything like centrally, locally, and then sync it?
Yes, that would work. Yes, so all your data basically is offline. So optionally, you can choose actually to not synchronize certain things, like we say, like attachment, for example, that can be quite large. So you, on mobile in particular, you might choose to only download it manually, but otherwise by default, it will synchronize the complete data to all devices, which means you can always work on it, whether you have internet or not, create new nodes, change them. And once you get internet, it's all going to be synchronized and sent to the cloud.
Very cool. And you say I can share, right? I can share notebooks.
Yes, with Joplin Cloud or with Joplin Server as well. Joplin Server is an option that can be self-hosted. So again, you have it on your own server. That's your own data. And it also allows sharing on the publishing notes.
It is hard to do distributed systems, things like that, and get it to work properly. So congrats. This is amazing. Very cool.
Okay. Yes, this is encryption, so end-to-end encryption, which I mentioned earlier. This is complex, and we try to make it as easy as possible to enter your password, and all your data is going to be encrypted when sent to the cloud, which means nobody can see it, even if there's a data breach. Your data will not be usable because it will be encrypted, and only you can encrypt it with the password, and that's going to be managed automatically on all the devices, on mobile, desktop, all operating system.
So when you're syncing everything, the notebooks, the blobs, everything is encrypted? No, everything is always encrypted when it's doing the sync?
Yes. So locally, your data is going to be decrypted. And when you synchronize, it's going to first encrypt the data, then upload it. And when you synchronize with another device, it's going to download the data, then decrypt it, and then make it available to the application.
Very neat. Very neat. What happens when I delete things? It'll be the same process, right? Like the same sync across all my devices.
Yeah. Once you delete something, it's going to be deleted on the server first, and then when another client synchronizes, it's going to see that it's been deleted locally as well. So all creation, deletion, and updates will be synchronized in that way.
Very cool. Okay. Is there anything else specific that you want to show us?
Yes, so there's also a feature to save a note history. So it's going to record by default the past 90 days of all changes to a note. So you can, if something went wrong, you can go back to it, see the previous version. I don't think, so it is available here, but since there are not so many versions, likewise, it works on all devices as well. Another feature is a web clipper. Web clipper it allows you to save web pages. So you install it. It's an extension that you install on either Firefox or Chrome or any Chrome compatible browser, such as Edge. So you install it, and then you can save web pages. They are converted to Markdown or to HTML. Depending on your preferences, you can also save screenshots or just a small part of a page. And yes, this integrates with the application, which can be enabled here. And we also have things like keyboard shortcuts. That's always convenient to customize them any way you want. So there are also Markdown plugins. They customize the rendering of Markdown. So for example, you can choose to show like audio player, video players. You have all markups that you can enable if you want, like soup. There are things like fountain syntax. That's a bit special. It allows creating play scripts using likewise a kind of language a bit similar to Markdown. You have mass expression, mermaid to create diagrams as well. Yeah, on all that. I wonder. So there are plenty of other options, I guess, but those are the main features. You can change the themes, the fonts.
That's awesome. And so for the
languages,
languages, wow, that is a lot of language support.
yeah, most of them are like German, all that. They are quite well developed. Catalan, actually 100%. So yeah, that's a big selection of languages.
Very cool. What else are you excited for the future development of Joplin?
Well, actually, this is something we want to start looking into. We have some idea of various projects, such as, for example, summarizing notes, finding information as well. LLM are obviously very good at that. I find, like, for example, when you search for a note, you might know what it is, but you might not remember any keywords or anything, and you cannot really find it with like traditional search. But with LLM, it's great. You can describe it. Oh, I remember, like it's about this and that, and then it just bring it on. I think this is very powerful and something we want to investigate and see how we can integrate that to the application. Another one is simply documentation, just something that would ingest all the whole documentation and allows users to ask questions like, how do I do this? And that's it, it comes up. This is something LLM are extremely good at as well, and something we would like to use for Joplin. Various ideas like that. It's something we want to start investigating quite soon. Another one is we want to modernize the design of the mobile application. We put a lot of work on it. We keep maintaining it, adding features. We've been doing that for like 9 years, really. Yet it doesn't look like it. It hasn't really evolved in terms of design and all that. So I think the design doesn't really do justice to the work that goes into the application. And so we want to improve that to make it more user-friendly, maybe prettier as well, and more intuitive. We want to modernize it in that way. This is a huge project that we've been working with a designer for. Once this is done, we will start implementing it, updating the whole interface. So that's, I guess that's the two big coming projects for Joplin.
Very exciting. So, hey, listen, if you're a designer watching this and you're like, I've been looking for this all my life, this could be a good open source moment for someone that wants to work on an app. Very cool. So tell me about the contributions that advocates you have from the community, obviously tons, 9 years of contributions, a very healthy plugin ecosystem. What kind of contributions are you looking for now from the community? Anything in particular that you like to see besides the two things that we just talked about?
Yeah, so that we would like to see, well, one thing we do quite regularly, we get lots of issues being created every day. Some are just simple like support requests, but some are actual bugs. We don't always have time to look into this, so we flag them. We put a high priority label on all that, we flag them properly. And all this, eventually, we work through them, but any help going through this is always very welcome. It can be like for new contributors, it can be very nice actually, because it's often very localized change. You don't have to understand everything. You just go to where it happens and a small change that can help fix this bug and really help the project. So that we are always very happy if someone can look a bit into this, help us with that. So that's one thing. Otherwise, I guess, it's a lot about maintaining reliability, fixing bugs and all that that we do lately. But there are also, likewise, in the repository, I can show. We label all features that we may potentially want to implement. So it's labeled with enhancement. Anything we label like that, if someone's interested in picking up one of these features, it's always welcome. What we recommend, however, is to first get in touch with us on the forum specifically. Ask us maybe about the feature. Do you guys still need this? How should it be implemented? Maybe share your idea about the implementation and all that. It's always very good to create some kind of dialogue on the forum. Yes. Because then you're not going to waste time, for example, making something that is not quite what users want. Because ultimately that's what is there is what users want usually. So that's why it is useful to discuss on the forum, and you will get feedback from us, but also from the user, from the frequent contributor, and they will tell you like what's the best way to approach any such feature. It might be fine to just create a pull request straight away, but we don't recommend it. It's always better to create some kind of dialogue first.
And where is that happening? I don't see discussions enabled. So how can the community have these conversations? Within the issue itself, or do you have a Discord server?
It can be the issue itself. Okay. Otherwise, we recommend, but it is better to use a forum actually.
You have a forum? Right.
Yes, we have a forum here, which is relatively active. And the nice thing here is that you will get also feedback from users, which is always valuable. While on GitHub, you will have feedback mostly from me on maybe some developers. But here it's always better to share your idea here. And I would think it's motivating as well, because then people are enthusiastic about what you are creating and they will give you good feedback on.
Yeah.
That helps with development and doing something that you enjoy doing.
That is very cool, Laurent. Very cool. So folks can go ahead and jump into that discourse and post and go take a look at the issues that are open. It sounds like you could also use some help on the triaging of the issues and helping with the labeling and all of that. But this is a really, really cool project. I told you before we started our session that I haven't dug into it too much, so it's going to be equally surprising for me. But I have right now, I'm staring at my desktop and there are 3 note-taking applications that I use, and 2 of them I have to pay for. So I am definitely going to be looking into Joplin, because it's like I get something from one and then I get some things from the other. But what you covered today, I feel like I could probably do everything. I can do that there. And I mean, in the spirit of Open Source Friday, like I use Notes, obviously, and Obsidian and Bear. I love Bear, but that deletion, what you show with the history, that's a good get feature for me to want to go to Joplin, because it's hard to, and even if you pay for the pro versions of these things, like to do the syncs, it's too easy to delete things and then to not have that memory. It's been an issue before. So this is amazing. Thank you so much for showing us the project. Is there anything else that you want to share with us?
Yes, maybe just like you mentioned Discord earlier, and we do have a Discord server.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yes, it's here. All the links are at the bottom. So we have a Blue Sky feed as well, Mastodon, Patreon, Discord. We have a YouTube channel as well. We have a number of videos which are quite nice to discover the application and discover various features. We do a video per feature, like to really go into more details, how to use it, how to use the Markdown editors, create a new notebook and all that. So I recommend the YouTube channel for those who prefer video. I think I'm more like someone who like to read, but yeah, it depends. Like some people are more visual, and for this, the video are great that we publish.
Very cool. And for those of you who have been watching so far, of course, there is the different communities, the Discourse Channel, the Discourse instance that we show. You can go on the issues. You can go on YouTube, and it sounds like you have a ton of content there. I'm a visual person, like I'll need to see it to figure it out. If you have any questions about the project, feel free to post in the chat, and both myself and Laurent will keep an eye on that and get back to you. Don't forget to go by the repository, please, and start it. And it's on Laurent22 is your username, and of course, the name of the project, Joplin.
Yeah, like you said, if there's any question, do not hesitate. I'll be happy to answer.
Perfect. This is a great project. Congrats. Next year will be 10 years, which is a long time maintaining a project. So thank you so much for bringing it to Open Source Friday.